Hell yeah, you know only the best. But listen, we are back. The Hard Corner Boys are back in the building. We have another show. We got a lot of things that have been happening around the planet on Planet Heavy. So, but shout out to everybody who's been reaching out. They're happy that we're back. We're back on a regular schedule. We're on a different day now, but we're playing with scheduling, but we are back. You want to follow the movement? Hit the link right there.
Yeah.
Right there. Take a picture of that, highlight it, and it'll take you to where you got to go. Listen, it's very, very, very important that you subscribe. The more subscribers, the more the podcast entities take our podcast and put it where it needs to be. And that's on top of everybody, smashing everybody.
Yeah.
You understand? But seriously, I want to shout out the UK because I was looking at our analytics. I think that's the biggest word I've ever said on this show. But listen, the UK represents for the Hard Corner. So shout out to all my brothers, sisters, and everything in between in the UK representing. Yeah. But listen, Busky, what's up? What's been going on? What you been up to? By the way, I wanted to just say this. It's May 18, 11/12. Where do you know where your children are?
Yes.
But anyway, yeah, Busky, what's up with you? What you been up to?
Chilling, you know. We just got done talking briefly. Good weekend. B&B Bowl was great.
Good. Yeah, got a little quick recap. We didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of footage. It looked like a great turnout. Everything worked out. Quick recap. Give us the highlights.
Well, good weather. That was a highlight. It wasn't rained out like the park show. So good weather, good bands. Pain of Truth was great. Death Threat was great. 2 solid headliners. I don't know, man. It was just a great vibe. It was a lot of younger bands, which was cool to see. Some classic old guys. You know, All Out War was great. Bulldoze was great. Marauder with Minus was great.
That's a heavy day right there. It's like, how much heavy? You know what you needed was Crowbar, you know, Marauder, you know, All Out War, and then everybody else could just like jump off a cliff and then come back the next day.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, let's try this again.
It was good though. You know, it was definitely a good weekend, good vibe, good to see a lot of the, you know, the fellas and whatnot. So
yeah, definitely. No, it's good. So, you know, till next year, you know, from the rumblings I'm hearing, there's a lot of good stuff happening for next year. So you know the deal. Yep. Another tradition going on. And speaking of that, overseas, this is a newer tradition. This is a festival. We got to play it once, and it was actually off the hook. We got to freaking take some heads off at it. But Revolution's Calling. This is a festival in Hollanda, my second home. Shout out to Eindhoven. When's it happening? November 25th. Talk about it, Busky. Yeah, there you go. Boom. This shit it's pretty stacked.
It's pretty stacked, yeah. First thing that I noticed, I mean, Cox Bar, obviously amazing to see. Classic, legendary, you know, punk oi band. But the thing that stands out right away to me is this side-by-side logo. That jumps out. Interesting to see that, you know. Yeah. Definitely didn't expect to see a side-by-side reunion happening somewhere other than in New York.
Yeah, I was going to say, when's the last time they played that you may have known? Yeah.
I don't even know, man. You know, there's so many of these little pop-up, you know, reunions for one show and they go away. Like, I don't know, but that's definitely, you know, a pretty big thing to see on a flyer as a side-by-side, you know, logo. So
definitely a good thing for Holland. You know, if you're into the whole nostalgia, old school, those classic 7-inch compilations, boom, side-by-side was one of the ones on the OG shit right there. So
yeah, definitely.
But look, let's take it from the bottom. We got there's some bands I never heard of, but let's go. Let's give them their shine because this is a good festival to be on if you're a new band or an old band. So we got No Way. We got, what's that another one that says Asian Pissa? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, never seen it, never heard of it.
Interesting. Anything with Pissa in it got me interested. Enemy Ground, One Last Time. Risk It. Shout out to Risk It. Yep. They you know, working it. Grade 2. I can't put my head on who exactly is Grade 2, but I know we've played with them. I see them around somewhere for a minute. So curious, but the logo catches me.
Yeah.
Kind of bugged out for some reason. It sticks the fuck out. Yep. But shout out and our boys, Death Before Dishonor. Shout out to Brian and all the boys up there. You know, they're gonna be in the house representing.
Yeah.
And then we got they're new on the scene. I guess they're new. Well, they're new on my scene. But you know, if anybody knows me, I mess with that oi shit. And the Chisel. The Chisel's on here. Listen, they've been making a lot of noise. And look out for the Chisel on the Smoking Word podcast. That's coming soon. So
hell yeah.
Yeah, you know, shout out to them, Chubby and the gang. I like that whole movement, what they're doing out there. You know, again, shout out to the UK representing.
Yep.
So Bishop Green, same thing on that same tip. You know, again, something refreshing. And again, look, I'm gonna connect it with our boys, Wisdom and Chains. Of course, you know, one of my favorite bands. Period. That whole lineup right there, that whole section is like the other side of the hardcore we love. You know, where a little bit more melodic, maybe a little bit more to the oi part of things than the metal. You know what I mean? So it's but done right, which is very hard to do.
Yep.
You know, for the OGs, you know, I felt like when it comes to that oi shit, the OGs like used all the ingredients up. So for a band to come out now and do it good, I salute them. Like, you know, the Take, the Chisel, you know, all these bands like this, you know. And Wisdom got that oi in him. It's funny because Richie has this thing against skinheads, but he's more skinhead than he knows. Shout out to Richie.
Absolutely. You know, and it's funny because they're that generation that spawned this generation of the Chisels.
Yes.
You know, and I think of like Trapped Under Ice with Never Ending Game, you know, like these, it's now been 10, 15 years, you know, that some of these bands have been around 20 years, Wisdom and Chains and whatever, that they've spawned a whole new influence, you know, of bands like the Chisel and Bishop's Green and stuff like that. So yeah, shout out to Richie, shout out to Death Before Dishonor, like you said too, because they're part of that too.
Yeah, that whole everybody so far. Boom. And we got No Turning Back. They actually are part of throwing the festival. So shout out to them for just, you know, keeping the scene alive in Hollanda.
Yeah.
We got Kill Your Idols. That's OGs right there. Long Island, right? What do you consider Kill Your Idols?
Yeah, here and there.
Yeah, here and there, but whatever.
Yeah.
You know, again, good to see them back playing. And we got my man Aaron and the boys, Death Threat. Yeah. I'm glad they're getting their vacation to go overseas.
Yeah.
I don't know if Aaron is still blazing. I hope he is, but he'll be in Hollanda. So I hope he blazes a big one for your boy.
And I have to shout out that lineup, that 25-year anniversary lineup with Larry and Jamie and CJ. They played that, you know, that those members played at the Bowl, and man, they sound fucking incredible. So definitely check this out in Europe. Anybody that loves Death Threat is gonna love seeing that lineup over there. So
yeah, and I wish I would have been able to see them because again, Death Threat as a whole, besides Aaron, all of them, all of them. Those are some of my first Connecticut friends from touring and all that. You know, these are OGs from Connecticut. You know, it's crazy to even use that word OGs, but they are. When I first started playing there, these were the guys, you know, they were the ones stage diving. They were the ones representing their scene for the bands. You know what I mean? So shout out to them.
Big E. Shout out to the Grippos.
Yeah, you know what's up.
Hell yeah.
Then we got the OGs. We got Slapshot. You know, what more you want? I think they played here before, but Slapshot's a staple in Europe, especially in Holland. Something about them, it just makes good. Shout out to all the fellas playing. I'm glad they're out there doing their thing. You get to see the OGs on this. And again, another OG band that kind of goes in the vein of live in the oi space kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense. Again, with the 7 seconds, side by side, and again, headlining by the OGs Cockspar. I mean, it's like very heavy oi street punk festival. But I gotta say, as much as I love oi, I always think it's hard. It was always hard to do a big oi fest, style fest.
Sure.
This may not be the conventional, the traditional, but this is a good bill of a good. This is what I would do.
Yeah.
This is a good mix.
billing.
You know, I would throw the business in there, the last resort, and then everybody else could jump off a cliff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shout out to
No,
Steve in
you
the business.
could.
Mickey
Yeah.
Fitz forever. But yeah, so shout out to Revolution's Calling. November 25th, Hollanda. The tickets on sale now. Yeah, go get it.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Good
What-
shit.
What
Yeah,
else?
we got some dope shit from the Bowl, actually. Unfortunately, you weren't there to catch it. It would have been great to see you maybe make a little special appearance too. But Combust got up there, did a really, really dope cover of a Demise song.
For anybody who don't know, Demise was my first band. Me, Beto, who was in 25 to Life. We started the band when we were like 15, 16 years old.
Amazing.
The dude, they actually hit me up, homeboy from Combust hit me up and sent me the footage. I already had seen clips of it, and it was dope. It caught me off guard.
Yeah.
It was good to see Cheeky up there. He sounds exactly the same, Cheeky. Shout out to Cheeky. But just a note, because when we were doing the playback, it's crazy to hear it because here I am, now, I wrote, they're playing songs that I wrote when I was like 15, 16 years old. And here I am at 28 years old listening to them again. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
right. Yeah, right.
So, but listen.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna need Gunnagram. If you want to see this one. But anyway, now on the real, they killed it and it was cool. Salute to them, man. Shout out to them for the little tribute. Yeah. It feels good that anybody even cared about it because we were a small band in a small space in a time.
And what's wild too is like there's not much documentation of Demise, on video. But also
little.
musically, I mean, all there is those demos, which they're first, second attempt demos. They suffer from 80s or 90s sound quality, this and that. So it's good to hear a band like Combust, who's tight,
yep, for sure,
who's modern, and it's good to hear them cover a song and give it proper sonic justice. Like those are heavy fucking songs.
Yeah, no, they played it good. I was like, wow. I was like, they sounded better than we played it back then. So shout out to Combust.
Yeah,
and look out for them on this. Also, look out for Combust on the Smoking Word coming up.
Yeah,
listen,
Gator, we got a clip of that actually.
Oh shit, yeah. Let's hit him with that clip, Gator.
Combust, there you go.
From the B&B. Yeah, crazy. And it's crazy. They actually covered like the two eras of the band, Backlash was actually, I think what Busky was just talking, it might be one of the first songs I wrote. Beto would have to be probably, if he remembers, but definitely one of the first songs we ever wrote, period. Yeah. And then the other song was a little bit later. We were on that metal tip. Shout out to Combust for the little flashback there,
So great.
Yeah, cool.
You ever see Demise getting back together to do something along the way? I mean,
no,
never, huh?
You just saw it right there. I like to let it live where it is, in the hearts of the people that really think they would care.
I know.
No, but it's cool. It was cool like that in that way, as a little pop-up thing, but whatever. You never say never, but never. Right. Yeah, kind of thing. But
no, I feel you, and I respect that. I do. Yeah. There was a time in my life where I thought the certain bands I was in would never do it again, and here we are. And it's like, I kind of wish that I stuck to my guns and just said never ever again.
Yeah, never ever. But and another fest that popped up, I saw. We got to play it last year. Which, first of all, shout out to Riot Fest in Chicago. I know a lot of people talk a lot of crap on these big fests, but shout out to Riot Fest for not only holding it down for the underground music, for not just putting one band on. Look at this bill. You ain't going to find a festival stacked like this where, that ain't a heavy fest. Listen, I don't even know where to start, but I could just tell you enough from the bottom. And I seen this. Shout out to Walter from freaking Gorilla Biscuits and Quicksand. He pointed this out. Start from the bottom. The highlight of this whole thing, Corey Feldman, third row from the bottom.
Yeah. Corey Feldman just chilling in there.
Listen, Corey Feldman. Listen, enough said. We got Corey Feldman. We got Corey Feldman right next to the Vegans Earth Crisis. Right. It's like the Warriors. Yeah. And we got Mr. Bungle hanging right next to the Interrupters. And nobody wasted nobody. But listen, look at Funkadelic, Pennywise, Bayside, Viagra Boys, Tegan and Sarah, the Breeders. Shout out to the Breeders.
Yeah, wow.
I'll give you another little tip. The end of Set It Off, the riff was inspired by that Breeders song, Cannonball. I robbed them. So shout out to the Breeders. So the Cannonball song goes, doom, doo, doom, doo, doom, right? Doom, doo, doom, doo, doom. Now, the end of Set It Off is doom, 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 doom. So there you go. A little tidbit right there. But we got Insane Clown Posse. We got, listen, Bowling for Soup. Where do we... I don't even know where to. I can't exploit it.
Yeah.
God, man, listen. Turnstile, Foo Fighters, The Cure, Mars Volta. Listen, Riot Fest, September. They don't need my promotion.
Yeah,
if anything,
this thing's all over the place.
It's all over. But again, it's good to see a lot of Gorilla Biscuits, a lot of hardcore bands on it. H2O's on it. Shout out to Riot Fest for recognizing. You know what I mean? Gorilla Biscuits, Drain, Snapcase, Earth Crisis. Yep. Man. Boom. What more you want? You never know. The Hard Corner might just have an appearance at Riot Fest. You never know. So Riot Fest, you might want to get in touch with us. You might want to sponsor us. So
yeah, hell yeah.
Anyway, but and speaking of Gorilla Biscuits, we got, listen, probably the second hardcore show I ever been to in my life, Gorilla Biscuits. They are back. They are playing Gorilla Biscuits with my favorite, one of my favorite Wiegans. Toby 2-0 and the boys are back. Stereo and Crime, End It. One of my new favorite bands in Standstill. Listen, Friday, September 8th. Busky, hit him with the rest. Where is it at?
Brooklyn Monarch here in Brooklyn, New York. Shout out to Miles to Go Presents, Scanlon and the boys. Dope flyer, GB in Brooklyn at the Monarch will definitely sell out. So I would definitely get on tickets there, especially with H2O and Crime and Stereo. It's going to be a banger, man. It's going to be a banger.
Yeah, that's just going to sell out if it hasn't sold out already.
For sure.
Shout out to Gorilla Biscuits. Shout out to Toby. Shout out to End It, man. Again, working. I love seeing the newer bands that are grinding, not just, putting music out, online. They're out there doing it, getting, in the trenches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Getting dirty. So, listen, Brooklyn Monarch, go be about it. September 8th. That's the spot to be.
Hell yeah.
And then what we got? We got Punk Rock Bowling. Listen, if you have a mohawk, Liberty Spikes. If you stink, if you got bad teeth. If you got like combat boots with like weird color laces, this is the place to be. First of all, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Yeah. First of all, I love those days. I'm starting to get into this, not the typical Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing. I like it how and it's a holiday weekend, which I found out, so it's great they're taking advantage of it.
Oh, yes, it is, yeah.
Yeah, so but look, it's Saturday. Listen, we got. Hit us with that. You start from the bottom up. Give us
Saturday. The Dollheads. Never heard, but get in there. Disgusting and the Rodents following the Dollheads. And then we got the Crowd. We got Surfboard, and then we've got Adolescence, which kicks off with somebody that at least somebody's gonna know here.
Yep. That's some of the
Slackers and Fishbone. That's all on the Monster Energy stage. And then on the main stage, we've got the Venomous Pinks with Susie Moon, Channel 3, Lee Ving and Fear. That'll be
shout
great.
Out to Fear, the OGs.
Hell yeah. Me First and the Gimme Gimmes, the Interrupters, and Bad Religion, all on the main stage on Saturday.
That's a big first day right there.
Yep.
Listen, shout out to the Interrupters. They're one of my favorite bands. They're doing, and I love that they're in a lane of their own. Yep. And another little tidbit. My boy was he engineered the record for us. So shout out to freaking the Interrupters.
Dope.
And then we got on Sunday, listen, we're going to start from the bottom, Monster Energy stage. And shout out to Monster Energy because they are, I don't care what anybody says, they are the company that's been looking out for real underground music.
Yeah.
Not just the punk rock, but that hardcore shit, that metal shit, all of that. So shout out to them. But we got Madam Bombs, we got Speed of Light, we got again End It, boom, Monster Energy stage, Sloppy Seconds. Nobody, well, we do like Sloppy Seconds sometimes. Anyway, Anti-Heroes, we got the Casualties, and we got the OGs, GBH. Listen, GBH, them alone is a reason to be there. them with Discharge are the reasons why we do what we do. So, you know, throw in Agnostic Front with them, and boom, there you got. Then you got us, and then we got Rough Kids, Playboy, Man Baby. It's a pretty funny name.
Yep.
We got Noise. We got Roy Ellis and the Agrolites. Face to Face, The Damned, and we got the OGs, Rancid. Rancid has become one of my favorite. They probably are my favorite live band to see. I can't front. Like, man, what can I say? That was a band that I would, you know, when they came out, always great players, but when they originally came out, it wasn't my thing. I was really into some heavy stuff or whatever until I saw them, and then they melted my face right off my, you know, and I was like, damn, I got to do what they do. You know what I mean? Just as far as play-wise, flavor-wise, you know, and they became one of my favorite bands.
Yeah.
Shout out to the boys and everybody, the whole crew. That's family right there.
Top tier shit right there.
And then Monday's a banger, and everybody thinks the Sunday's the last day, or now in this case, the Monday is the last day of the fest. Let's start from the bottom, Busky. Hit them what we got. This is the last day now.
Desert Island Boys. This is the Monster Energy stage. Desert Island Boys with Infamous Stiffs, Svetlanas. I don't know if that's FEA or FE. I'm not sure, but we got the Chisel after that. Boom. Shout out to the Chisel. Good to see them out there grinding too.
Yeah.
AF, Agnostic Front. Can't front on that. And the Exploited.
How crazy is that alone already? Boom. Yep. AF and Exploited, that alone is a fucking crazy, right? That's a reason, you know, that's a reason to go, you know, freshen up your mohawks and all that and sharpen up your spikes and your widow peaks or whatever it is you kids do now.
I think one of the best years that I've seen AF, God knows how many times, like you know, but I think one of the best times I saw them was when they played with Discharge in Brooklyn at one of those bowls. Yes. And just that pairing of the punk with AF, it was incredible, you know. So I would imagine hopefully the same energy, the same situation here with AF, you know, playing before the Exploited. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. And then on the main stage, you got Rat Fuck, Doki Doki, Ultra Bomb, Hepcat, L7, which is very cool to see.
Yeah, cool.
The OGs, Suicidal Tendencies, and Dropkick Murphys. So another fucking killer.
Yeah.
Killer lineup for Monday.
It's stacked to the bones, you know. Again, and I gotta say, this is a festival where like bands like AF and bands like Suicidal, they're gonna come off and kill it. You know, I gotta say, you know, they're not on the as punk as these other bands, but this is a fest that loves it all. I gotta say, it was an eye opener because I had a different idea of how this festival was before playing it, and we didn't even play the main. We played one of the side shows.
Okay,
and it was still cool. You had a great time. Everything about it. They took care of you and whatever. And but no, real cool.
Yeah, and you said side shows. I know that there is some side shows that I think Wisdom in Chains is playing one of them.
Yes,
and Lion's Law is playing another one.
And Ignite is also playing it.
Awesome.
And also I want to push my brother Mike Gallo. If you don't know from Gallo Originals, they're having a punk rock bowl, and they always have an art show. There's a lot of artists gonna be there. I think Tim, Steve Caballero, a bunch of artists.
Oh wow, dope.
Yeah, a lot of different people have it. I think it goes on through the whole weekend. I'm not sure if you could buy them or whatever, but you could definitely check out Gallo Originals if you want to cop some of his stuff. He got some really cool stuff out there. So go support the movement.
And also, too, that Punk Rock Museum, I think, is opening or open, too. So if you're in town for the bowling thing, try to cruise by there.
Listen, definitely. You know what? You know why I might just like... And you never know. Smoking Word TV might just be in the motherfucking building. So I'll leave it right there. But anyway... So, all right, what do we got? And also, speaking of Smoking Word TV, I also want to shout out, I just dropped today a brand new episode of the Smoking Word podcast. Check it out. My homegirl, Anusha from Killer Cakes, is a homegirl. She's from the scene. She's also doing something big with the whole health. Protein pancakes, they're banging. She sent me some a while back. Make sure to go support her. Check out the podcast. We had a blast. Again, you got to support the people from your world. Support the movement that supports the movement. You know how we do it. This is what it's all about. But check it out. It's up on everything. YouTube. You know, it's everywhere. So shout out to Killer Cakes Co. Go follow and go get that protein pancakes.
Yeah.
They really are good, and everything is made in house. So that's cool stuff. And shout out to everybody again who's been supporting the show. And if you want to keep supporting the show, this is the best way to support. Right now, we have some gear up. We're going to have a whole bunch of new gear coming up. But go to CasaDeRock.com. You can hit the link right there. Everything that you buy that's Hard Corner goes back into the show. We go into rebuilding, new everything. We about keeping things fresh and sexy. You know the deal, but everything is printed in-house by your boys. Support the movement. And also, I need everybody. It's very important that you're subscribing to all the shows and to the channel, because the more subscribers, YouTube and all the platforms start seeing that there's eyes on it, and they'll start placing us in the right places. I just dropped a brand new show. This one is for all the smokers out there. Basically, I connect the dots with everything, Mary Jane, music, and everything in between.
Welcome to Smoking Word TV.
You see, it's kind of right at the point of ready to be.
Wow. You guys got a real green thumb.
Yeah. So
That thumb stays green, right? Yeah.
mitigating them as soon as possible.
And is there certain rooms you find sweet spots in a room? Is there
yeah,
such
absolutely,
thing? Yeah.
absolutely,
I was
for
curious because I know in music, in the studio, there's sweet
Yeah.
spots in the studio, so I was wondering.
Especially here in the greenhouse.
I'm really, really psyched on the new show. I need everybody. Make sure you tap in. Make sure you will subscribe. Make sure you hit the alert. Go hit the link right there. Leave a comment. Listen, we're having a lot of fun with the show, and we're about to take this show to the next level. We're headed, I don't want to say to the next destination, but I just gave you a little hint. But episode 1, Denver's already up. We basically connecting the dots with everybody who loves Mary Jane, who loves music, and who just connecting the dots with cool cities, cool people, and cool everything. So, again, I'm really psyched on it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, Smoking Word TV, everybody. Very, very important.
First episode is dope. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you. And episode 2 coming, so look out for it, The Heavy Collective. All right, so what else we got? What we got next?
We got some new shit. It's been good. I have to say, man, you know, like, especially being at the bowl. Yeah, there you go. Being at the bowl, talking to people. There's a lot of older people interested in what's going on now. There's a real great resurgence of hardcore metal and everything. So here's some new shit. This is from Cleveland style band called Live It Down. Anybody that's familiar with Cleveland, we all know that Integrity, Ringworm, Confront, those are kind of the leaders of the Cleveland scene. This band is right in line with that. It's guys from Steel Nation,
Hard.
some older guys, but you know, it's it's Cleveland style, very Integrity, very Ringworm, very, you know, sort of Confront style.
The vinyl's dope.
Yeah, you know, and it's just classic Cleveland hardcore. Anybody that grew up listening to, you know, those bands from Cleveland, I think you'll definitely appreciate this. So check that out. That just came out this week on Triple B. You know, give it a spin.
Definitely. Yeah, Triple B doing that thing. And I love the vinyl. The colors, the vinyl's dope. And by the way, somebody got to do camouflage vinyl. Nobody did it before. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
I don't even want to cut. I just want to copy. And just say inspired by Hoya Rock. But anyway.
Yeah.
So just so you know. And shout out to Chimera. Shout out to the boys at Chimera.
Yeah.
They just played. They do an annual show. They do every year at the Agora Theater. And I just seen footage and sold out all the time. It looked like a good time.
Yep.
That's fam. Shout out to Jim Lamarca. You know, Busky, we had one of the best times on that tour back in the day.
Absolutely.
So shout out to them. But I just seen that they had a good weekend. So it's good to see they're out there still being able to go out there and have some fun on stage.
Yeah.
And their kids got to see them rock out. So
Yeah.
I can't lie. When I see my boys or even people I don't know, but with the kids, I get happy. I get excited when I see parents, and hopefully it's not typical Instagram crap where they're fronting for the picture and then they're not about it. But I love to think that, you know, people from our world are putting in that work with these kids, you know?
Absolutely.
So I take pride in being getting our hands dirty with these kids, you know? And I think, I thought about it, all jokes aside, I was thinking about it the other day. I said, if I could pick anything, any scene my son could get into without having to be able to police him, it would be the hardcore scene.
Yeah.
Hands down. Like, not even because I feel like you're going to be safe there.
Yeah.
You're going to be safe there because I think the third eye, the hardcore punk rock community has survival. The survival skills that come from it resonate in every lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, and you could live longer than, let's say, a hip hop lifestyle.
Yeah, right.
Because I live that too.
Yeah.
So,
no, there's a spirit of youth.
yeah, exactly. It's just something about early on togetherness, family, sticking together, fighting back. I mean, these are things we don't talk about at that age. You know, we may be about it and we let it out in other ways, breaking bottles, but not to like put it on paper. And that's what I love about, you know, the hardcore community. We put it on stage, you know, at an early age. That's something I never gave us as kids credit, you know, being able to put it together in a mature way, even though we were a bunch of kids, because it is a mature way to let me put my problems and what's bothering me and my ideas on paper, and I'm going to yell about it in this platform because this is the only way people are going to hear me.
Yeah.
Listen,
no,
that's
it's true.
right
Yeah. You know, it's funny you say that because I think my daughter and my oldest is, you know, 12 going on 13. And I was definitely into punk and hardcore at that age and stage in life. And had I not had that outlet to go freak out and mosh around and punch people and get away with it and whatever, you know, who knows where I would have put that energy, you know, negatively somewhere else, you know? So no, it's valuable. And even now at, you know, a middle-aged fucking man, you know, like I see the value in that still. I think that's why it resonates so much, you know, with us and our children and seeing our children get involved and, you know, stuff like that. So
yeah, for sure. And you said, and we got, what else? We got some, that's the same.
Some Texas OGs. We got Will to Live, Godfathers of Texas Hardcore, return with a crushing new LP, The Therapy Sessions. That's coming out on the 26th of May next week on Another City Records.
Good shit. I love Texas. You know, the other day, I always knew it, but I realized again the other day, I said, you know what? I love Texas.
Yeah. And these guys, you know, these are some of the first guys that I met, you know, Texas coming around way back in the 90s, early 2000s, you know, touring and whatever. So these guys have been around forever. I know that they had a member of the band recently pass away, which sort of led to the band coming to this, which is, I think, why the record is called The Therapy Sessions. So it's a pretty personal record for these guys.
That's fam right there, yeah.
And it's fam, yeah. So shout out to these guys. And we actually have a video clip of a new song. So let's give that a spin.
Boom. Oh, that was a quick clip. I thought I wanted to be
a little quick one.
But yeah, no, but it's good. But I'm glad. Shout out to them. Definitely. It's good to see them playing. Again, these dudes are the music guys too. Like they're around putting in work with the scene and just being in bands and playing and putting out hard stuff. And definitely go check them out. Texas is representing, man. I gotta say, you know, Texas doesn't have 1,000 bands, but it got 6 in the chamber that are ready to rock. You know what I mean? There's a handful of bands that are coming in that are just ready to do it. So shout out to them. Go check them out. And then we got over here. We were talking about them before. Before we show the video, I want to shout out to the Chisel. They're out there doing their thing. They're making some noise right now. And look out for them on the Smoking Word podcast. Cry Your Eyes Out, the new single. Listen, they were Chubby and the Gang. Again, you might probably know them. They were making a lot of noise. I actually heard about this band first from Paul Barrett. Shout out to Paul. He was talking about Chubby and the Gang, and I loved the name.
Yeah.
Boom, I traced it back, the songs, whatever, long story short, boom. Boom, now you got the Chisel. They're doing their thing. They got the first single out. They're going to actually be playing Punk Rock Bowling also. It's on Pure Noise Records out now. Go check out the Chisel. UK.com. We have a video clip, right?
We do.
Hit him with that video clip. Let's hit him with that chisel shit. Boom. Cool looking video.
yeah.
Got that feel. And you know what? My man from Chubby, I think I might have to grow he making me might have to bring my mustache back.
Oh, you should.
Listen, there's been a movement. There's been an underground movement going on
right?
On the dark web of of
The
my
dark
mustache.
web of mustache.
Yeah, they want a mustache to come back. I have a lot, from the Ezex to there's a couple people around the planet that are like, yo, they want to see the mustache make a comeback.
I'm sure there's more than a couple people.
Chubby and the gang and the chisel might just be sparking that mustache flame in your boy. But,
You're really gonna put the oi in Hoya?
yeah, the Hoya.
H-O-I.
Yo, that's my new Oi band, Hoya. Yo,
H-O-I-A.
listen, starring me, the dudes from the Chisel, Steve from the Business. Oh, listen, we're already
Paul Bearer.
Paul Bearer. Boom. Thank you. Sign us right now. That would be a hard band. The Hoyas. Hoya and the Oyas.
Yeah.
But listen, but yeah, shout out to them. Cool video, whatever. And we got what else we got? So go check them out. They just dropping it. New music out. And again, they'll be at Punk Rock Bowling too.
Awesome. Yeah. Good to see those guys, across the pond. A lot of these bands,
Yeah.
European bands or UK bands, whatever, they don't quite get over this way. So it's good to see a couple of these guys break out and get
And
over
not only
it.
that, and like killing it out here. It's not
Yeah.
one thing to make it here is another thing to come here and kill it and have people here wanting to see it,
And think that you're actually from the States. You
Yeah,
hear so much,
exactly.
they're like, damn, this band's actually from the States.
Yeah.
So.
And again, the UK represent again. Today's might be a UK dedicated episode because the analytics, the chisel. What more you want?
Yeah.
All we need is some freaking what you call it, a Guinness and freaking. I was gonna say a spotted dick, but I don't fuck with that.
I'll
No,
take
you-
some regular fish and chips.
Yeah,
I'm good.
but you English know what I'm talking about out
Yeah.
there. Shout out to all you spotted dick eaters out
We don't need
there.
fucking mackerel.
Exactly,
spotted
but
dick, weird fish shit
but
around here.
shout out to them. But and we also got what else we got? We got some more new stuff.
Yeah, this is a cool new band I just came across. I figured we'd give them some shine. Young, new Brooklyn, New York hardcore stuff. Band called Snubbed, which I thought was a pretty cool name, even. And
cool logo, too.
Yeah, very cool logo, very cool artwork. I don't know, it's kind of in that fast negative approach. Infest, a lot of heavy distorted vocals, fast guitars. There you go.
Boom.
It's basically quick and to the point, 9 songs in 12 minutes. So every song is about a minute long and it's just, in your face fast.
9 songs, 12 minutes. That sounds like me on a good night, and I just 12 minutes of fury. 9
But
times.
that's considered an LP nowadays. Remember
for
the
sure.
days of having to write at least 30 minutes for an LP?
Yo, people don't know what it was out there.
Yeah.
Why a little secret out there. A lot of our early records and the early hardcore records have all this interludes and whatnot. They weren't because of artistic direction. That we were filling up motherfucking time.
Space, yeah.
So
if you can
trust
get
me.
away with 9 songs in 12 minutes nowadays, less is more. And this is true hardcore, it's just, there's no bullshit. So
Definitely
I thought
go
it was pretty
support
cool. Give it a spin. It's young, it's new. I'm sure you'll be seeing a little bit more of them here and there.
Yeah, no, shout out to them, man. Go support them. I don't know if they got a band camp or hit them on the Instagram and follow them. Again, very important you go support these bands, the new ones.
Yep.
Even hitting those likes on their posts means a lot because we all looking at our likes. Same way everybody listening, you look at your likes when you get a like. They're doing it because they're putting their music out there. So make somebody feel good and hit them up with some freaking positive energy.
That's
right.
right.
I want to do this last week, and before we get out of here, we got to go to a really, really cool event. I want to shout out my man Kiki Valdez, right? Listen, Florida native, hardcore kid. I was following him. I saw he was doing some really great art. Long story short, he ended up doing the artwork for a play that played in Miami the other day, last week. He invited me to the event. It was very cool, open bar. It was a political play on the Cuban Missile Crisis. There was they had speakers there, old political prisoners there speaking or whatever. Wow. Really cool thing, but it was cool to see the artwork live and direct.
Yeah.
And the play was really cool, even though it was in Spanish. It was, trying to keep up with it was a little bit hard, but it was done really, really well. And again, I love when people from our world are doing big things. Long story short, the paintings were amazing. We got some footage. I want you to check it out before we get out of here. We'll tap in before the footage ends, but Gator, hit him with that footage. Let him check some of it out. Westchester, Florida. We are in the building.
Let me show you.
98?
Yeah, this was a long. I was 17. There you go. Right
Look at that.
there. Yeah, I mean, that's
Look at that. Look at that. Get him.
that was like when you actually had to.
But look at that.
Everything
Yeah,
was like
this is where the art started.
pretty much.
But it went from this to...
Yeah, man. I mean, it's old school.
Oh, no, I can have this. For the invite and for taking care of us. Really, really cool stuff. Go check them out on Instagram. Again, the hardcore community doing big things, representing. Listen, shout out to everybody who's been tuning in. We are back. I'm finally in a new place. We have a new headquarters. I'm going to have a new set soon. We have a lot of new things about to drop. Stay tuned and just stay connected. Everybody, tap in. Subscribe, hit the alert buttons, and make sure you comment. Busky, before we out here, anything you want to let them know?
I'm good, my man. Same as usual. Hit that link tree, Smoking Word TV on Facebook, on YouTube, Instagram, all that shit. Like, follow, subscribe, and get down with the movement.
Where can they follow you?
You could follow me at Buske, Buske. Where can they follow you?
Follow me anywhere, just not into just stay in front of me, not behind me. Listen, no. You already know the deal. Hit the link tree. It takes you to where you want to go. Listen, support the movement that supports the movement. We'll be back next week and a lot more in store. We out of here. The Hard Corner Boys. We out.
Word. Peace.
Peace.